Did I tell you about my Albatross? Hey yo, here we go, come on.
Welcome to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albi. This is the golf podcast for honest degenerates. It's like teaming up with your favorite foursome every week and diving into the best stories in and around golf. You guys ready to tee off? Let's go!
Welcome, everybody, to the first installment of Did I Tell You About My Albatross, where we talk about golf culture. We talk about all the funny and hilarious stories that go on in the world of golf. I got my main man Panda. He's a crowd favorite. Say hi, Panda.
What up?
Panda and I are going to be hosting this thing. We may have some other hosts that come and go. One of them didn't even show up tonight. That's fine. That's all good. We'll still do our thing.
Couldn't even Skype in.
Couldn't even Skype in. That's okay. They have Skype anymore? They still do Skype?
They have FaceTime. They definitely have Skype.
So Panda is my makeshift producer. You were mentioning like we don't really have any sponsors, right? So we're open. Like we're ready for them.
We're very open.
And now's the time to get in because
buy low, sell high. What Brandon, what would you do if you could get Tesla at $1?
Well,
you'd buy a ton of Tesla.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be trying to make this podcast with you. I'd be actually playing a lot more golf. So that's really what this podcast is about, playing more golf. And then the world that's in and around golf. Panda why don't you tell the world about yourself, Panda?
Yeah, Panda, or the alias that is Panda. PGA golf professional.
Yeah.
Sherpa.
That's right.
Slice fixer.
That's right. You fixed my hooks too, by the way. I was more of a hook guy.
Yeah. Reformed hooker.
Yeah. I've been called worse. That's fine.
Just someone who is fascinated by golf and the golf swing. I say I've never really had a real job. I've always worked in golf. I probably always will work in golf. Hopefully, once we sell this podcast, I won't really have to work at all.
Yeah.
I'll just play golf.
You and I, hopefully, I don't know if you'll be my buddy anymore. I think you're pretty much leveraging me for my podcast equipment so you can...
I think we're friends.
Yeah, nah, dude. I'd do anything for you, including name you Panda, which is... let's start there. Why don't you tell everybody about how you got your name? I'm proud of this.
You. I got the OG head cover.
Right
it's
there.
A Panda.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Panda.
It kind of resides on the 3-wood, but all the group has a spirit animal, if you will.
Yeah, we're
the Panda.
We're a bunch of weirdos, man, right? But I won't even say his real name, because this thing's going to go viral, right? Yeah, in fact, I may even
disguise my voice and shit when I need to because I'm kind of worried.
I didn't even know how to pronounce or say his real name. So, and that head cover, I mean, that is a filthy head cover.
Daphne's.
Yeah, Daphne does a great job. And let me just tell everyone a little bit about me. People call me Albi. That is because I have I think it's easily the best shot at Carrollwood Country Club's history. And I think Carrollwood's owned by this conglomerate named Concert. If you're listening, fix our greens, Concert, and invest more in the course. It's a great club, and I love it. And thank you for having me. But please, reinvest in Carrollwood. But I own. I'm pretty sure the best shot in Concert history. Like I'm talking about Concert Golf, all of their however many properties they have. I own it. That's mine. Would you disagree, Panda, or would you agree?
I mean, we might want to do a teeny bit of history check, but
okay,
I'm gonna say right now, rank it number 1 until proven otherwise.
I'm gonna get into the shot specifically. I'm gonna go into multiple episodes on this thing because I think that it deserves it. I mean, granted, I'm a little biased, but here's the deal.
It's the name of the show.
Yeah, it is the name of the show, and it at least deserves.
So let me just preface the story here by saying I am not a PGA professional,
and that's what I'm gonna do.
Like
so
my
here
friend
it
Panda
is.
Here. In fact, I'm actually a tech guy. I've been in tech sales my whole entire career. I've got 2 little ones. I've been playing golf a long time, since I was a little kid. And at one point, I had a really low handicap. I was a 2, flirted with 1 something. But that's been a while, and that's been 2 kids ago. And when this happened, the story I'm getting ready to tell you, I had just had my first little one, and another little one was on the way. So my handicap was already starting to go up.
So it's 2020. We're in day 2 of a 2-day member golf tournament at Carrollwood Country Club here in Tampa, Florida.
And it was a hot day. Like we had, the first day we played okay, probably top 5, but we thought we had completely played ourselves out of it the way that we had been playing that day. It wasn't pretty. So we thought we were out of it. And my partner had pretty much given up. And honestly, truthfully, I kind of have too. Like we were just trying to get over this last hole here. But when we stepped up to the tee, Pine won, which is a par 5, and it was playing roughly about 530 yards that day. I hit an incredible drive. I mean, probably the best drive of the day. I was all over the place that day, but best drive of the day. When I get to the ball, I take out my trusty 3-wood, and I hit, well, the best 3-wood I've ever hit in my life. And it sailed, and my buddy and I, we couldn't really see it, but I mean, it sailed 247 or so yards, and I knew I hit a good shot. But what was interesting when we got there, our 2 buddies that had just finished were waiting on us to ride into the clubhouse with us. They said, "Hey, Brando, did you hit a good shot?" And I said, "Yeah, that was a really good shot, I thought." And they're like, "Yeah, it was a good shot, man. It went over the green." So I start looking for this thing. And I'm looking for it for a good couple minutes here. And I'm like, "Where is it?" One of them said, "Dude, it went in." What? When they said, "Dude, it went in the hole," I lost it. Now, here's the crazy part. We go in to turn in the scorecard, and that's when we find out that going into that last hole, we were 3 shots back from the lead. So with that final shot, buzzer beater, if you will, we ended up tying for the win.
So an albatross statistically, right? And I'm not a big numbers guy. I not so good at math. I'll be honest with you. I'm okay at math. But I know this stat, and the stat is 1 in 6 million on an albatross. I believe it's 1 in 17,000 on a hole-in-one. Now, here's the crazy part. We go in and turn in our scorecard. My buddy and I find out that we were 3 shots back going into that hole. So with that shot, now what is an albatross? How many shots under on a hole?
Yeah, for any of you non super densey golfers, birdie would be 1 under. Yes. Eagle would be 2 under. Albatross, the rarest of the birds, would be 3 under.
Yes. That's it. So because of that, we tied for the win. We're the net champs. Well, co-champs, because
the club could tell us.
Yeah.
But you're probably in the annals of history.
See, so let's just... All right, so we did this last time. Again, it didn't record because we have no idea what we're doing.
Well, we got the ball. Get the ball on camera.
Yeah, and it came out. I had to make my own trophy. Look at this. It's hilarious. I had to make my own trophy because no one cares but me. But look, it came undone because I have no idea how to make trophies or produce podcasts. But what's great about this is, let me just read you the email. And they missed the most important part. So they say, "Dear members, we hope all member participants have recovered from a big weekend." And it was, Panda, a huge weekend. Congratulations to all winners, but let's be honest, they're not all winners, right? We only had a couple of those. And with that being said, we would like to recognize an albatross that was made on pine number 1 during Sunday's final round. Hold out his second shot with a 3-wood from 245 yards out. Please congratulate Mr. on this significant achievement when you see him around the club. Sincerely, Carolwood Professional Staff. Now, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is that you told them 3-wood. I would have said 8-iron. Hold an 8-iron from 241.
That's great. That's so true. No, what's wrong with that is the fact that
it wasn't to win.
They didn't mention the fact that it was to tie for the win.
Or that they've wrote to ESPN.
Yes, they should have.
Or even Fox Sports 1.
Dude, I would have.
Fox Sports 2.
Like, I literally was looking at my partner who could care less. Again, he was ready to get out there anyway. He could care less if he won the member tournament. He was just ready to leave. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on Jimmy Fallon like this week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be interviewed by Scott Van Pelt. Like, that's my goal. Like, my dream.
Somebody's going to talk to us.
One of the main reasons I started this podcast is so it could hopefully have Chris Paul. He's a huge golfer. He's pretty much my sports idol and icon. He came from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Shout out WS. Louisville Clemens. He went to West Forsyth High School, my high school. Chris, whenever you're ready, dude, we're ready for you. I mean, I don't know if we can actually get your audio working, but dude, come on in a couple months. We'll get this shit ironed out. And then secondly is to get interviewed by Scott Van Pelt. He's a golfer. He lived in Orlando. Dude, this is right up his alley. And anyone could just send him a quick note. Here's a side note. My wife actually knows his wife and was a sorority sister at Florida with her. And I'm like, will you please just tell her to tell him that I got an albatross to win a golf tournament? Like, tell him that. He'll want to interview me.
He might want video of it, though.
We can, dude, AI, like, so for the audience, like, I am a tech guy. I'm not a golfer. Like, I love golf. I mean, it's an absolute passion of mine, outside of my wife and kids, of course. And other than that, it's golf. And yes, and I absolutely think that we can recreate this thing with AI eventually. We're not quite there yet, but that, or we can go out and hit 6 million balls on pine number 1. But again, it wouldn't be to win a golf tournament. That's the crazy part. 1 in 6 million, but then figure out the odds to actually win a golf tournament. So anyway, that's the name of the pod. And here's the other thing. We will, first of all, we're going to get myself a real trophy, hopefully, after our...
Yeah, well, once we sell out, we can probably work that into the budget.
We're open to selling out, right? Like, we could care less.
Yeah, I'll do this in like a costume.
We'll steal
whatever kind of shirt you want.
Dude, we will go to Lowry Park and steal a Panda. And by the way,
It pays.
If it pays and gets us a sponsor, and we're not going to, don't worry, we're not going to steal a Panda. We'll have PETA after us.
Right.
Yeah.
ASPCA.
Unless they want to sponsor us. PETA?
I mean, I feel like PETA could get in behind it if we were like, we're going to let the Panda go.
Say we'll give all of our money to pandas?
Yeah, we'll donate to the Panda Society.
And then you just take all the money? That'd be great. So that's the name of the pod. Now let's get into the rules of this thing. And then also, I think we got a couple of contests here, because I think by a certain number, we're so open to selling out that by a certain number of subscribers, I'm willing to never tell the story again. Even in my work calls, I talk about my Albi all the time. Oh, did you say anything about golf?
Yeah,
no? Okay,
anything,
I have an Albatross.
Anything.
So anyway, I won't use it. I won't use it in my social setting. I won't use it in my introduction like I always do. I won't do it anymore ever after a certain number. I don't know what that number is going to be. Like, I don't know what a fair number is. It's certainly in 5. Like, we got to go, like, I'm thinking, what, 100, 100,000, 150? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, when you start making money where I don't have to work anymore.
I feel like at 50,000, you're making a check at least.
Dude, you couldn't turn the computer on. Like, I don't know if I should trust you on YouTube.
50,000 people, though?
I don't think that's how much in the world, in the YouTube.
I think you're making something.
Yeah, you're probably making something. All right, as long as we're making.
We could like get a sponsorship for the shed. We could be the Cialis Studios or something.
Yeah, the shed's erect. The shed's all, yeah.
What would you trade what would be more impressive than an Albatross? What would you trade it for in terms of golf? What about like 2 hole-in-ones in the same round?
So, I mean, that just happened not too long ago, right? Like, there was a kid, I think there was a guy that actually had an Albatross and a hole. I'm probably butchering it. I don't know. I don't really remember. But
Brian Harmon had 2 on a PGA Tour event in the same round.
That's insane. Well, hole-in-ones?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Little lefty guy.
It's insane. And, again, don't worry. We're going to spend a lot more time on this until we get 17 subscribers. And then, 170,000. Whatever the number is.
100,000, you have to stop talking. 100,000 would be a massive feat.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 100,000 people to listen to this?
Dude, I think I think this is going to be bigger than that.
You're right. I mean, like I said, hey, what would you do if you could buy Tesla for $1, everybody? You could get Apple in 1983.
Yeah, that's true. God, wouldn't that be great? Now, I would maybe trade my Albatross for something like that. Give me $100 grand
in time and invest.
Give me $100 grand worth of Tesla at $1.
Yeah. Oh, what would be the dollar amount for that Albatross?
So I think I've thought about this. This is crazy. This is actually, I feel silly saying it because it's a stupid, it's a luggy shot.
It's all relative.
But you're taking away my anything's possible thing. So I think I could sell that out for probably, give me $150K, dude.
Wow. That's like the basement?
I think it's the basement. Okay, so let's get into the rules, right? So this podcast, I actually wrote it down and sent it to you. So this is it's not for everybody. And again, we should probably open the floodgates to anyone that will actually listen and smash that subscribe button. But it's not. We actually have some rules here. And one of the rules is you got to be a winner. You can't, I don't know what that meant. That was yours. What do you mean by that? Because I certainly don't win that often in golf.
You win enough.
I win enough.
What does it mean to be a winner?
Yeah. And
it's a good one. If we're going to have rules, we should probably have
definition.
Baselines.
Exactly.
You got to be positive enough. We don't want any Debbie Downers around here.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
You get out there,
especially on the golf course, it's somebody who has to be around people who are actively hitting golf balls all day long. It's a leisure sport. You're supposed to enjoy it. It's not supposed to be painful.
You've really helped me with that. I will say one thing that you've done from us working together with the mental side, you hit a bad shot That was then. You got to let it go. I actually use that a lot at work. I'm in sales. So I use it all the time in sales. You have to be resilient. You have to have tough skin. You have to like get over it in order for you to be successful in other areas. But golf or whatever is so silly. That's why I love it. But it's a great point. So, okay. So that's what it means. Don't be a loser. Don't be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
You hit a bad shot. So the fuck what? You're out playing golf. Enjoy it.
You gotta have a little competitive bite. Be a winner.
Okay. So, competitive bite. What does that mean? Talk to me about that.
Like you gotta want to run over somebody. We want to Oklahoma drill your grandma to win this shit.
What is that? Never heard of.
Take no prisoners.
What does okay drill your grandma mean?
Oklahoma drill, where you go lay on your back.
Oh.
You didn't play high school football?
Nah.
You lay on your back and they blow the whistle and you jump up and
And someone pounds you, or
you're both going for each other.
Oh, damn. But no, dude, like first of all, no, I did not play football. I was more of a basketball guy. Shout out to Chris Paul. That's 2 times on our first episode.
You're silky with it. Were you more of a perimeter shooter? Or
Yes. I mean, I was
John Stockton Jr. Were you more of a distributor of the ball?
I wouldn't put me in the category of John Stockton, or I was more of maybe a Steve Kerr.
Okay.
Just
solid role player.
Yeah. I
knock the shot down when you get off the bench.
Dude, I'm gonna sit here and cheer y'all on the sidelines, and then as soon as y'all need me, throw me in and put me in the corner. That was my goal. My left or right doesn't matter, and hit me, and then hand me the ball, and then I can definitely pass. I can pass like a motherfucker. That's all I could do really, and I wasn't quick. I'm like 5'10" 11. Anyway, so competitive bite. Gamblers, we kind of want gamblers on here, right? Like we're
for sure.
Yeah. And ideally, the more degenerate you are, the better. Like, how's your Venmo account looking? Now, I'm not talking about how healthy it is. Like, is it positive or negative?
What's the transaction history?
How many? Yes. What's the activity level? Like, we want high activity level on your Venmo, please, for your golf bets. And I want now here's the deal with the Venmo. Speaking of that, now when I lose a golf bet, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll pay you. I'll pay you right away. No problem. I pay my bets. I'm a grown ass man. Oh, pay your bets. That's another fucking thing.
For sure.
I'm going to write that.
Hey, you're not allowed to listen to the podcast.
Dude, get off our shit.
You got like an hour max post. Like you can chop it off at the 19th hole, but like the clock is ticking once the final putt drops.
The juice is running. Oh, yeah. Actually, let me do this.
Yeah, the VIG is on.
The juice is running.
Exactly.
So like I think, I completely agree. You got to pay your bets. I want that activity level high on your Venmo. When I win a bet, let me just talk about the winning the bet, because that happens sometimes. If I win a bet, I'm like, hey man, you owe me X amount of dollars. Now let's just say it's $50, right? So you owe me $50, or you could pay me $45 and make it public and say I lost a. These are kind of gems that you're going to get if you can meet all of our rules. Now, we've gone through a couple. So I got competitive bite. I got winner. And then we got someone that's got to pay their bets and lots of activity history on that Venmo. And then what else? We got...
no iron covers.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Thank you.
Take your glove off when you putt.
Oh, my God. Do people wear gloves putting? Oh, my God.
Yeah, we call them glove putters. That one's more of a preference. I'm not going to grind you that much. Like, you look kind of dorky.
I ain't golfing with people that would golf.
You look kind of dorky, but like, I'm not going to grind you that bad.
Fast players. That's another one. So you got to be a fast player. I don't care if you suck at golf. Like, I don't care what your handicap is.
Yeah, you can suck. You don't have to be good. We're pro woman. We're pro whoever.
Oh, dude.
Play quickly.
Yeah, that and your
speed that shit up. Ooh, ball retriever. Are we okay with ball retrievers?
No, dude.
There you go.
Well, but that probably eliminates a lot of people. Like, we need subscribers too. Like, we can't be too restrictive. What if you have a ball retriever? And I've been one of those guys too, when I didn't have any money for balls and stuff. So I don't know. Well, I'm kind of let's get the comment section going. Let's get that. Let's throw that out there to the crowd. Like, what do you guys think on that? I'll let you guys say yay or nay on that.
The polls open.
Okay.
What's worse? Yeah, we'll do the poll as what's worse, putting with your glove or owning a ball retriever.
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll leave it to the people. Next.
Okay. Does that cover it all? Man,
the rules? Do you want to toss anything else out there that won't completely eliminate the general public?
Yeah. The more of a degenerate you are, and if you have stories, we love stories. And
you're like the ultimate scumbag.
Yes. We love scumbags. We just love it. So you were actually a caddy at Bandon for a while, right?
Yeah. I started off as an intern, really, and just hung around. I didn't really have a whole lot, anything better to do. So I started off as basically assistant to the caddy master. Not assistant caddy master, but assistant to the caddy master. Quickly figured out that if you just actually carry the bag, that pays it better. So started doing that. And yeah, got to experience a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of interesting stories, just kind of being a part of the golf ecosystem that is Bandon Dunes.
For all of those YouTubers out there, for anyone watching our video portion, I just kind of moved the camera over so you could see. This is Bandon, right? Like right behind me here. One of my, actually, this is 16 Pacific.
And no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Pacific.
No, that's Bandon. 17.
Oh, yeah, Bandon. Oh, yeah. I mean, you were a caddy there. You probably know better than I do. Yeah, what a great, I mean, dude, that's
I like 17 more as a hot topic.
What's
17's a better hole.
Oh, is it? Bandon is just such a special place in general. And I mean, I think when you go on a guy's golf trip out there, I've been fortunate enough to go twice, and I cannot wait for our next go at it, because like it's just breathtaking. We were in Bandon playing, and we were playing Sheep Ranch. So yeah, we're playing, and for all of those people, the millions of people watching, you know, Bandon's interesting because you have this stuff here, gorse. This stuff was brought over for what reason? You told me the other day. I couldn't believe it.
A couple it has a couple unique kind of side effects, I guess you could say. So it's so dense, it's almost like a fence. So you would bring it over to like fence in animals. You would also bring in over because it's super flammable.
Yeah.
So it's like it creates like an oily kind of substance. But if it gets on fire, like then you have a gorse fire, which can get a 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. And it spreads. Didn't like Bandon burn down a few times?
Yeah, Bandon burns down like a couple times every century or so.
Wow.
Due to gorse.
But yeah, so they had this stuff called gorse, and we were playing Sheep's Ranch. I always call it Sheep's Head. No one can get this name right when you're at Bandon, right?
No, when I was working there, I was working in the shop, and we had it open for like preview play, and people would come in and like, I want to play the goat farm. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't exist,
dude. It's not even that hard. It's not even that hard of a name. Like, it's Sheep's Ranch. Like, you think everyone would be able to get it, and you just can't. Like, I call it Sheep's Head for like, and I played it and was one of my favorite courses in the world. I'm like, dude, have you played Sheep's Head at Bandon? It is beautiful. No, it wasn't Sheep's Head. What is that? Is that a fish?
That is a fish. I'm full of meaningless knowledge. I tried really hard for like a year to get on Jeopardy.
Oh, really? I'm a big Jeopardy guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did you like Aaron when he was doing it?
No, I don't know that. What Aaron
Rodgers did it.
Oh, nah, dude. You're a football player. Like, you can throw a ridiculous football. Like, that's what you like. Don't be. And I know he's smart. Aaron, if you want to come on here, the door's wide open. I'm sure we can get some sponsors if you want to.
We got just enough room for you in the shed.
Dude, it is at capacity, but we will make room for a couple people. Chris Paul, third shout out of the pod. Boop, 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 boop. Aaron Rodgers. And then also, what's our third one? We need a third one?
A third celebrity plug?
Yeah. I mean, like, who's your favorite?
I think if we could get John Daly in the shed, we would light the world on fire.
John, if you're listening.
He's in Clearwater.
Is he still?
Yeah.
I want to get back to the score story. Okay. But I do. All right. Let me just write down John Daly, because I do have a funny story about that, and I would love to hear.
He's like in Clearwater. I go to like a golf gym, and all the guys like had to cut out early because they're like, JD's got like a massive money game at Clearwater Country Club today.
So so he plays at Clearwater Country Club? Is that a nice course?
No, it's not. But apparently he got kicked out all the other ones.
So yeah, so that's where my story was going to go. I heard this story. I forget the name of the club. So there was a story about John, and it was some club somewhere around here, and he basically got thrown out because he was pissing off of the balcony onto people walking down below.
Let's go. Degenerate.
By the way, John is welcome to subscribe.
Absolutely.
To watch.
That's who we want. Like, that's who we want to hear from. That's who our target audience is. That's a great co-host right there.
Like, I was trying to figure out, like, how can you appeal to certain demographics? And I couldn't figure out how to put that into a peg. You can't put that one into, like, there's not a box where you're like, oh, what kind of listener do you want? There's not a John Daly box. But if there was, absolutely. Good call.
Human garbage. That's who we want.
Yeah. And he's actually, like, I actually root for him and love the
Yeah.
Because it's not because he's not human garbage, by the way. He's just
not. I'm saying that's who we want to attract. If you consider yourself human garbage, this is the podcast.
No, we don't want, we want winners. No, we want
sick. JD's the man.
No, we want human garbage, but not people who think they're nothing. We want confident. We want people like, yes, we want like arrogant.
Well, yeah,
cocky,
you
like,
accept it. Like, I know I'm a degenerate piece of garbage. I also want to win.
And you have pretty ferrules on your irons. And
sure, it's not
you're flashy.
It's not a self-deprecation thing. It's just it's who we are.
It's the truth.
Somebody wants to go flip quarters for $100, I'm in. But I'm okay. I'm not going to off myself.
We should totally do that after this.
Okay. I got a quarter.
So getting back to this band and shit and gorse, which I think is it's just a great plant, okay, for lots of reasons. Sure, it's flammable and it spreads quick. And it actually is the reason Bandon's there in some ways, right? From the way I understand it. Because didn't they needed it to burn in order for them to clear the land, because wasn't it protected or something? They couldn't clear.
Yeah, a lot of the area is like environmentally protected, and they had the site for a long, long time.
And then magically it caught fire.
Yeah, magically catches fire.
That's great.
There's another plant. So like the preserve logo is silvery placelia. That's an endangered plant.
Getting back to gorse. So gorse is not only extremely flammable and gets in the way of beautiful courses, but it's also extremely sharp. Like it is. Yeah. They're like little razor blades, dude. Like it's not even needles. You don't want to touch it. Dude, it is probably the worst. Like it's almost like grabbing a rose bush. And anyway, so you hit, like, your caddies are great. Like, you guys are great out there because you're like, oh, dude, it went in there. And I'm like, let's go find it. Like, no problem. You mind going over there and paying you a lot of money? You can go over and find it. And you're like, no, we're going to go ahead and drop right here, dude. We're not finding that shit. That shit's gone. I'm like, I can see it. It's like right there. It's like, it's got my initials on it.
If only I had a ball retriever, I could scoop it out.
Nah, dude, we don't have those or gloves when we putt, but it's sharp. And one of the funny stories, and then we'll get into piss lips. One of the funny stories ever you told me was about how this guy, and it wasn't in your group, I know, but I'll let you tell it.
Yeah. So the third hole at Pacific Dunes is a longish par 5.
Okay.
With the green kind of going directly into the ocean, and then you make a sharp kind of U-turn, play the fourth, with the fourth is kind of ocean all up the right side. But
okay.
3 green beyond it, so long of 3 green is all ocean. It's a cliff, and there's a gorse. Legend has it, caddy goes out with the group. Group poses a prop bet that the caddy won't basically like Superman dive onto the gorse.
Yes.
Just stick there.
Yes.
He sold out, like what we're trying to do. Jumps off the cliff, kind of sticks in the gorse. I'm sure he's paralyzed with fear, can't really move.
Of course.
Like the reverse turtle stuck on his back, just kind of dangling there. And I believe they had to get some assistance to remove said caddy from said gorse.
Firemen, right?
I believe like volunteer firemen at that time.
Wow, that's awesome.
I believe what I heard is that the group continued playing golf
and left him.
That's
amazing. I just love that.
They made that little U-turn onto 4.
Of course they did.
And just kept fucking going. They said, this is going to take a while. He's not going anywhere. And you know what? We don't want to hold up the golf course.
Oh, wow. Hey, go ahead and give a shout out to that.
Ruck it.
Give a shout out to those boys in that Caddyshack thing that you
shout out to Caddyshack. Absolutely.
And but I think we should definitely throughout this pod get into some of the bets that like caddies have heard and that caddies do, because they've also heard, I'm sure you even like have heard crazy ass bets amongst the people that are looping. I think we were playing Stream Song and there was like a funky looking, like they have these I think it was like a weird ass caterpillar. That was definitely you.
Oh yeah, the bug.
I don't even know.
The bug?
They call it a cow killer or a cow. Was it that one, or they have some weird shit out?
One wasn't me. I've seen caddies eat weird ass bugs for money on at least 2 occasions. I didn't know. Did somebody eat that caterpillar when we were there?
I was getting ready to do it. I mean, they were throwing some silly money around. It was like a couple $100. I'm like, I think it was like koala and
I think we decided against it because like a caterpillar like that, like this thing was like 2 inches long and green and like
it had a lot of colors
on it. Like you might have died.
It had some colors.
You were in for a ride if you put that thing in your mouth, one way or the other. You're going to the hospital or you're going to have a great time, I feel like. And there's no in between. You're not just going to be like, no, it was fine. Something's gonna happen.
That's, I think, part of the reason I just wanted to try. I think it would have been more of a good time, but if it was a regular green ass caterpillar like I see sometimes, it turns into a
How did Stream Song too? Like, you don't get cell phone service. I don't think we could like Google it to see what the it was.
No, they have to call the volunteer fire department to rescue me. Okay, so on Sheep's Ranch, it was windy. It's super windy that day. We were playing it. We played it in the morning, super foggy. Couldn't even see it. I was actually playing really well. It's a shorter course I think it's got to be the shortest one out there, except for the par threes, right?
Yeah, I mean it kind of has to be. It's so exposed, it's so windy out there that you can't make that golf course 7,000 yards if you're playing into the wind. Some of those holes are just going to become unreachable. You can't have it be too super long.
Well, and plus, I think they just ran out of real estate. Like the caddy was telling us when we were out there that they were trying to buy that house. The guy that has that house on hole number one.
One house up in the up on the hill.
They were like, oh yeah, when they first started building it, they were like, we'll give you $1 million. And I think the last offer was like 3 or 4 times that. And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm like right here. Are you kidding me? This is like, why would he sell it?
There's one on Trails too. That's like, there's one house inside the property on Trails that it's the same situation. He won't sell it.
So we're playing, and I forget. We were like mid-round. It's actually, I can probably guess what hole it is. It's probably 7 or 8, and it's pretty wide open. I mean, it's not that many like big trees and stuff to go pee behind.
There's no trees.
Exactly. So you have gorse, and this was one of those situations where, the gorse is kind of blocking stuff, and this will be great. Now, I've been drinking all day, but man, we've been walking. I don't even know I was sweating. It was cold and windy, and like I don't know what was happening with my body. My body was like we've been there a few days at this point. And, and it just sucks it out of you out there. Like, I mean, everything's dry. Like it hurt to blink at some point. Like I don't play with sunglasses. I was dehydrated, and my pee stream probably wasn't that strong. It was coming out like a broken sprinkler, dude. It was like, but not like it was like a kind of like that. Actually, that rhythm. And what was crazy about it was windy. As I mentioned, like super windy. And I went from like just going to take a leak to all of a sudden turning into Neo from the Matrix, trying to dodge my own pee from hitting my lips. Like I was literally like this, like at one point like this, and like I was like, wow, I can really limbo. Like I should limbo. Like that's impressive. But why is the pee coming up? Like where's gravity here? Like where the is gravity?
It's just wind. I feel like the rule number 1 if you're going to piss outside is figure out which triangulate. Is this a north wind? Is this a help wind? Is this a wind off the right? Is it quartering?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I probably should have taken the wind into account, but I don't even do that with my golf shots. So I'm like, I was just trying to take a leak, dude, and I've just never really been in a situation where whether or not that's my
was that windy,
or whether or not it was like the perfect storm with like prostate problems and wind, and the thing started peeing at me. Like it wasn't peeing down, or I wasn't peeing on the gorse. This gorse is such a terrible plant that it reverses gravity in order to hurt you. Like I hate gorse. Like gorse is the worst.
It's probably it's like a little wind tunnel, but I think that one's on you. That's not on the gorse.
Gorse, dude. So anyway, that's piss lips. And then I go into the turn to make matters worse.
I got a question.
Okay.
Did you tell everybody this, or did they see it? Because I feel like I'm pretty good about like getting away with stuff. Did you come back to the group and you're like, I just pissed in my mouth for 5 minutes?
Kind of, but here's what happened. I go back there and they're like, oh, dude, what's all over you? Like, did you spill your... And they realize I'm not even holding a drink. And I'm like, I pissed all over my face.
Urine.
I pissed all over my face.
It's urine. This is who I am.
My man Panda also, in case the sponsors are out there, and I think this would be a phenomenal sponsor for us, and that is the No Sweat hand cream that you got. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Carpe.
Is it Carpe?
Carpe.
Carpe. What a great.
Won't sweat for 12 hours.
No, but I think that means seize, because I mean seize the day is Carpe Diem.
Right.
So carpe means seize, and it could very easily make you seize. Like it's shutting down.
Like seizure. That's a good one.
Of course. Like it's shutting down your ability to sweat. Like, I mean, come on. Like but I do love it, dude.
From the hands.
Yeah, but you sweat from the hands for a reason, dog. Like you need pores.
Bro, you know what else is sick? I've had like 2 bottles since you've known me.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. That shit lasts forever. It's like Tabasco. You buy one and like you're gonna give it to your grandkids.
Terrible business model, C's. Let me get in touch with us, sponsor our shit, and we'll tell you how to run your biz.
We'll tell you how to make 3-ounce bottles. So you fucking sell
exactly,
some.
dude. You do not want a product that lasts forever. Sorry. That's why they don't make shoes out of tires. I mean, if you get 80,000 miles out of a tire, you can definitely get out of a shoe.
Right.
So they do that shit on purpose. And
the first light bulb's still going.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like the light bulb that Thomas Edison is still going.
So anyway, wow, I didn't know the light fucking blew my mind. Kind of, I didn't even know how to recover from the first light bulb was still going. I just replaced 3 last weekend.
Why would he make it to burn out? It took him like 90,000 tries.
Why they? Oh, because it's a business. That's what
exactly, because it's a business. So they came around and said, "Hey, T, you probably don't want to last that shit 500 years." Maybe make one that burns out every couple months, so they got to renew.
I just, and shout out to Carpe, terrible name, terrible business model, but it does make your hands not sweat, which is cool, I guess.
Free advertising.
Yeah, just giving it away at this point. Speaking of giveaways, you know, you and I have kind of tossed around a couple ideas, and then I want to get into my driver, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so a couple of giveaways that we've talked about. And again, we'd love to hear comments and we'd love to hear some suggestions. Anyone that knows who Mr. Beast is, if you guys don't know who Mr. Beast is, look this dude up. This guy is great. Do you know who he is? You don't even know.
Told me about him last time.
You don't even, of course. I always, dude, this is my new thing to talk about because it's amazing. That and my Albatross. He gives away everything. Like, it's crazy. This guy's like one of the top YouTubers making, like, I mean, I think over 100 million a year. Maybe I have that number off a little. Like, maybe that's under. The dude is absolutely killing it. But my point is, when we get enough subscribers, we're absolutely going to run contests like that, especially from our sponsors, Band and Dunes. We're open to some money and some free giveaways for our listeners and subscribers. Or, for the time being, we are more than willing to pay for any of our subscribers to come to Carrollwood Country Club, where Pine Meadow, Cypress Pine, or any of them, dude. We'll get you out. We'll get you out, and you can play with us.
You can try to recreate the Albatross shot. I'm just going to put it out there. I got a lot of Southwest miles. We could. You might get when you book on the miles, man. You get like a weird ass. It's like never direct when you book on miles. Oh, you notice that? You got like 4 layovers, but you know. So if you're willing to put up with some layovers, we could work something out. You can recreate the Albatross shot, or you can try.
I'm imagining there's gonna be a lot of local. Like, this is probably just gonna be a couple buddies. They're probably not gonna listen to this whole thing. Like, you know. So initially, like, even if you want me to pick up your cart fee, like other members there, like, sure.
Oh, we'll take care of it.
But I think we should do it in a contest format. Like, I think we should do like, all right, our 10.
Yeah, we should get like ping pong balls and
like a lottery.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think we have enough subscribers so we could probably fit them on the ping pong balls.
Hang on, I'm just filling a drink here.
We've come full circle. You're like, we gotta get the ounces right. Like, we gotta measure this. Now we're just like randomly dumping shit into the cup
with no ice.
There you go. That looks good. Just go ahead and eyeball it. That's how you. Once again, true degen. You just eyeball it.
Cheers to episode 1, part 2. Part 2.
You feel like you're an elite drinker? Like, can you put these away? How would you rank your drinking ability? What's your drinking handicap? I'm probably, I mean, dude, I was all state back in the day. Okay. Don't say shit if you can't back it up. No, I mean, but again, a lot like my golf game, in a good way, it's just fallen, like my drinking's fallen off just because, I mean, kids. Yeah, you fall out, you stop. Like, it's real easy to, if you're not like consistently putting them away, it's real easy to get soft. I'm not one of these guys that can just drink on the golf course and put it, like, what I worry about is, that all of a sudden I'm like, damn, it's a Tuesday at 4:30 and I'm drunk. Like, I don't want that. Oh, okay. You don't like get the shakes though or nothing, right? Court low. That's what I call court low. No. You get a little shaky? No, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get the shakes. Hot, sweaty. It's interesting because, like, I used to drink a lot on the course. I don't really, to me, I have a better time when I'm not drinking on the course. Now, I mean, not saying I don't. I'm just saying that I definitely play better golf when. Yeah. Now people there's a sweet spot in. Is there? Of all the golf I've played, there's definitely a sweet spot. Yeah. It's quite the experiment. Everybody's sweet spot is different too. It's not a one size fits all, but you got to find your sweet spot. Yeah. There's definitely a point of like, I'm freed up, I can do this, and also it's not like I don't give a fuck anymore. I can't putt. Huh? I can't putt if I'm too sauced.
Is it distance control? Is it reading the brake? What's going on?
I can read it all the time. I just can't. I like lose sensation on my arms and hands, I guess.
That's actually a huge ass bug in here.
It's the mosquito hawk, though. It's good. They don't bite.
Okay. God,
They're safe.
It looks pretty nasty, dude.
It's that same one. You slapped it 6 times.
Dude, I have killed that thing.
It's the Terminator.
I don't even think I washed my hand last time. There's blood all over my hand. It's
Let's
definitely. Go. But by the way, if you have blood on your hand,
give us a call.
Smash that subscribe button. No, but no. How much would it take right now for you to eat that? Like, I'm just kind of curious.
For me to eat that mosquito hawk?
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty low, like
$20. I mean,
nah. I got a little more self-respect. 100, I'm doing it.
Mr. Beast, are you listening?
Exactly. We'll eat bugs. Someone buy this.
Someone buy this. We're not eating that caterpillar out of stream song, by the way. Great place to dump a body.
We curse too much for like our moms to listen to it. Like we can
fucking
do weird stuff.
Speaking of douche canoe, I said I was going to mention my driver, which you fitted me for not too while ago. The paradigm's amazing. I really love it. Now, my favorite part about this thing is the sound. And, it's funny because like
thwack.
Dude, it is. Let me tell you what I call it. I came up with this. I think you're going to laugh. I think you're going to like it. I call it the Will Smith.
Okay.
You know why?
Because it kind of just slaps something.
Yes. It sounds like it's the same sound. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. And then it sounds
like a slap.
Just like Will Smith hitting Chris Rock's face. Like, I mean, just like it. When you catch it. Like, when you catch it right. So anyway, I've been calling it Will Smitty. And maybe that's stupid. Tell me in the comments. I'm sure you guys will eat me alive.
I had a Nike one time that was like real weird sounding. And
was it red?
No, it was like the blue one. It was like the last one that they made. I think it was called the Flex or something. But somebody described it as the sound of a wet, deconstructed Coors Light box hitting a cement wall.
That's so specific.
It was very specific, but also very true. It was very thwack.
That is like, man, that is like...
It's one of those ones you gotta like pause and like, you kind of tilt your head a little bit and you're like, okay, I guess you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean...
How do you know what that sounds like? I know what that sounds like, even though I never heard it though. So
there's one way you know what that sounds like. You get bored, your internet's out, and you're like, we just drank that whole case.
Just slap some shit.
We just drank that whole case, dude. Like, what can we do with it? And other dude's like, well, there's that brick wall over there.
How many beers are in a case in North Carolina? That's a highly contested topic.
Oh, dude, I have no idea. I was always a liquor guy.
Oh, okay.
I cut right to the chase. I was always a growing up tune-out mom. I was always no, I was more of a liquor guy. I got some great stories about how stupid I was when I was drinking in North Carolina when I was younger. Should we end the show with one?
With one of your stories?
Yeah. I don't.
It's your podcast.
Dude, I've got 2 little kids, and looking back, how dumb is daddy? I was 21, we'll say. And I was back from school or whatever, and I was driving.
Shout out App State.
Yeah, I was driving back from one of my buddy's house who lived in North Carolina, or lived in Clemens. My parents' place was like maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. And I think Dos Equis was my go-to beer. And I think I had some Dos Equis. And I was only 1.5 miles away. And yeah, it was dumb. I don't ever drink and drive anymore. Like, that is dumb. I was driving a Jeep. Shout out to the Wrangler Society where you wave at each other when you pass by.
I don't like those.
I love it. That's because you never owned one, dude. I love the wave. I'm a big wave.
You're right. I didn't own one.
Dude, I used to get so pissed when they wouldn't wave back. I'd be like,
well, maybe they just don't know.
Oh, dude, if you own a Jeep,
is it in the manual?
What I hated is these Cherokee people.
Okay.
By the way, if you own a Jeep Cherokee.
Wow. You can only buy the Wrangler in your book?
No, you can. You can still subscribe.
Subaru people, I feel like, is also like a congregation. I don't know if they have a wave or a handshake or anything, but I feel like that's a collective unit.
I think you gotta have a wave in order to have like a society. Okay. That's just my opinion. Driving home from my buddy's house, buzzing, was dumb, right? Let me get that out there. But it was also hilarious, and this is why. And it was a one-time deal. I got pulled over for not coming to a complete stop.
Pulled over for turning left on red.
Yeah, exactly. Going the wrong way, probably. No. I got pulled over. I didn't come to a complete stop. I was like, and then I turned right, and then I was like, ooh, I didn't exactly stop. Now, you could probably let that slide. There were no cars. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I mean, there was like Me and some, like, we lived rural North Carolina. Shout out Chris Paul. That's 7. I got pulled over. I killed the test. I mean, I'm killing it. Like, I'm like touching my nose. I'm walking in a straight line. I'm
asking him about his wife.
I'm moonwalking. I'm schmoozing. Of course, I'm a sales dude. Even back then, I'm like, hey, I live a mile away. I live a mile away from my parents' place. I'm here. I'm like an excellent student, which I was not.
I have such a bright future, sir. Just let me go.
Do not steal this from me, officer.
Yeah, don't.
So I was like, dude, I'm pretty much aseptic. I'm good, right? And he goes, I'm going to follow you home. He goes, I'm going to follow you home to your parents' place. And then as he said that, a sheriff's car pulls up and goes, how we doing tonight? And the deputy goes, we're good. We're fine. And he goes, okay, all right, come over here a second. This guy
To
just...
you or to the cop?
No, to the cop.
Okay.
And the guy had just started, I think. I mean, this is in my mind. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know the whole story. Maybe they were like, we're going to with this dude. This is great. And that they did, by the way. So they're like, hey, listen, he comes over and he goes, hey, man, so I want to let you go, but I can't. Like, my boss is here now. And now we're
the cop now. Okay, yeah. My boss.
All of a sudden, like, it was a switch. I switched on, and maybe I don't think I was that drunk. I was just more nervous than anything. But I was coherent. Hey, officer, like, I screwed up. Like, I'm so sorry. This is me talking to the sheriff now. It's saying the same story, but better. I live right over there. I just need you guys to follow me home. And it would be like, please. And at that moment, the sheriff looks at me and I look at him and I threw up on his shoes.
Nice.
Right on his shoes. Like, right on
that's how you spent the night in Boone County Jail?
Actually, they were boots. No, I was actually in Winston at the time. And I did not go to jail. I somehow threw up on...
If you got your way out of that,
Dude, I threw up on his shoes. And when I say I threw up on his shoes, it like splattered a little bit on him. Like, he was able to kind of back up.
But you vomited.
Oh, I vomited. We're not going to follow you home. We're going to take you home. Leave your car here.
Did you just say, okay, decent compromise?
I was like,
I'll take it.
You, man. No.
No.
I was like, no. I was like, yes, sir, officer. I can't
Whatever
believe
you want.
I just can't believe I did. And thanks again for me. I cannot believe I just threw up on your boots. Like, I am so sorry. Like, what am I doing? And from that moment,
buff those out.
Dude, let me tell you something though. In all seriousness, it was actually a huge blessing in disguise. And it was really early on. Like, from that moment forward, I never drink. I don't drink and drive. You have Uber. Like, just use Uber. It's so much cheaper. It's so much. And they got Lyft. Dude, it's
they got all of it. Oh, you don't Lyft?
I mean, I do if they throw in that dollars to
Lyft money.
Get that Lyft money going. Of course, I'll use them other than Uber forever. Grubhub too, baby. Send us some food. We're starving over here. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that's my...
That is a good story.
Yeah, that's my sheriff story.
No, right. Dewey. Got you.
So, anything else? We're good?
I'm good if you're good. It's your show.
All right. I think that's it.
Did I tell you about my Albatross?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't miss out on our upcoming golf giveaways and experiences. They're exclusive to our subscribers, and all you got to do is subscribe. And until next time, golf's easy. Think fairways and greens.
Here we go. Come on. Did I tell you about my Albatross? Hey, yo. Now you know.